Hey everybody, welcome to BODS Mayhem Hour. I'm your host, John the Bod, aka the Bod Father, and as always, bring you guys awesome interviews. And today it is an honor and privilege to have the band Terra Inc. on the line with you right now. That's Terra Incorporated. They are from Pennsylvania, and they have a new album that's out right now called End of Days. And my suggestion for each and every single one of you guys and gals out there who like horror punk, metal, rock, stuff like that, pick this up. I mean, it's just like $4, I think, $4 or $5. It's worth it. It's really worth the money. They should charge more for this, in my opinion. But that's just me. From track 1, Ghouls Rush In, to Damn Me, to track 5, it don't let up. It's just a really, really good and fun CD. And that's the first time I've said fun on here to an album in a very long time. There've been some great CDs that's out, but not, as far as listen to as fun and good, if you get what I'm talking about. So, guys, how's it going? And welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us. We're doing great. Yeah.
Let's introduce each one of you guys so far, if you don't care.
That's good. My name's Will, bass guitar, and I do backing vocals.
I'm Clint, do drums.
Caleb, I do guitar. Jamie, vocals.
So, guys, what's impressed you the most about making this new album, End of Days? What's caught your eye about it, if anything, possibly for each of you?
Honestly, I'm just most surprised with how well it's being received. I mean, I shouldn't be surprised, but it's cool to put something out and almost instantly get a bunch of people like contacting us and just saying how much they enjoyed it. That's really cool, like exciting like that,
And from everybody that I've talked to that's listened to it, they love it. They've actually asked us when we're putting our next album out, and it's, they can't wait to get their hands on it.
I guess I'm just happy with the quality. We did it ourselves, did all the recording, and I step back and look at it. I'm just proud of that.
I'm happy to be along for the ride.
I am.
Caleb, you produced this album, and you produced Tale of the Zombie King. Do you guys like this side of doing it yourself, or would you like to work with a producer at some point again? Because I think you guys worked on your very first one that came out with a producer. Let's talk about that.
Someone did approach us. Yeah, we probably would. It was more of just starting out. It's easier to do it yourself and just get done what you want done. And if someone would, oh yeah, definitely we'd work with someone and, in next releases and stuff. But
would you think they would, let you incorporate your own stuff, let you go your own flow, and then step in, or you think that would mesh something? I mean, because something like to me, you guys got a good process the way it is right now.
Yeah, I mean, if they came in and was like, no, you're not putting that song on, or we don't like, this part. I don't, that much control. I don't think I could do, because I still like being able to play and write what we want to do without someone saying no or changing the feel of the song.
For sure. I feel like if somebody came in and was seriously trying to change how we work it, we'd just have to part ways with them and just keep doing it ourselves.
And the atmosphere that we record in, it's very relaxed, very chill. We record in our practice space, so it's, everything's at our own pace. There's no rush, no hurry.
Guys, any songs off this album that are standing out more to you than any on it, possibly for each of you? I know these are like your babies. I know they're just a couple songs on here, but are there any that stand out more than any on there, possibly?
For me, not so much. Like I feel like they're all very strong, and like they all pull their own weight really well. I mean, obviously there's some I enjoy playing more because they're just more fun to play, but like all in all, I feel like every song on there is pretty strong. Like it can really hold their own. Like that's cool too. I like kind of actually really like that about it. That I don't feel like one or two are pulling the weight and the other one's just kind of along for the ride.
Yeah.
For me, it would have to be Avoiding the Chair. I wrote that song probably, I'm going to say 3 years ago. I introduced it into a band I was in at the time, and they actually didn't want nothing to do with it. And when I got hooked up with these guys, I think it was like the third or fourth time we played together, I was like, hey, I got this song. I threw it at them. 3 weeks later, it is what it is on the album.
They didn't want anything to do with this song. Did it just not fit the style? Because, I mean, it's pretty damn good.
At the time, them guys they already had music pre-written.
Okay.
And they were really stuck on that stuff, on their old stuff. And it just seemed like they weren't really into doing anything new.
Okay.
When you brought it up, though, it was cool. Like,
these guys.
Everything about it felt really good. So
yeah, they jumped all over it. I mean, I had the drums for it. I had an idea, and I just let them guys run with what they wanted to do, and it actually all came together really, really well. I think it sounds awesome.
It does. It ends the song. Well, no, it don't end the actual CD out, but I mean, avoiding the chair. Then you have "Damn Me." It tells a story. If you ask me, in a way, if that makes sense.
It does actually. I actually saw a show. It was about a guy that they were trying to execute in Texas back in the 40s or 50s, and every time they went to execute him, it just went wrong. So I was like, hey, you know what? Why not?
Just like my show.
And the style that these guys play with being the horror metal, it actually fit in really, really well with what we do.
Just like my show, everything goes wrong, just about.
Yeah.
Nothing's easy.
That's very true. Very true. How much growth musically, guys, have you seen this band go through since the formation? Or has it been more personal growth for each of you, growing as musicians, or both?
The overarching for the band has grown exponentially. Yeah, we started off just like hardly knowing how to play instruments, just kind of messing around, and then we started off with pretty much a completely different lineup. Myself and Caleb are the only like original members still. We messed around with that a little bit. Got a new singer, which the singer you would have heard on the last album, the Zombie King album. He left. Our drummer left a year ago, and that's when we picked Clint up, and that completely changed our style ability because he's just a way, way better drummer than our old drummer was. Not away from him, it's just different style. Right. And shortly after that, our singer at the time quit, and that's when we picked up Jamie, and he's also completely different vocal style, but it really, really works well with what we're doing. So, like, just it allowed us to be a little heavier, a little more metal feeling because we had a little bit more grit and scuff there, you know. So, I don't know. It's definitely had some serious evolutionary changes, but I like the way it's going and the direction we're taking. Like, it feels good, sounds good.
What has the new people brought to this band that was missing, possibly? Not to knock the other ones, but what have they brought to the table for this band?
Well, I can say this. When I joined these guys a year ago, and I listened to Tale of the Zombie King, I come from a background of 80s metal, hardcore thrash, stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
It seemed like it was lacking power.
For sure, yeah.
And with my style and how I play, I think I bring a lot of power to these guys, and it just fits. And like Will said, the direction that we're going, they wanted to get a little more heavy, a little more metal, and it just all works. Now, granted, when I first come in, I had to learn the stuff that they had written already, but the new stuff that we are writing is going really, really well, and it's really heavy and thrashy.
You know, people will think I'm crazy when I say this, but the music should reflect the name of that band that you're in. If it's Terror Inc., you know, you should think of stuff like terror, and it should sound like somebody's coming after you to kill you. You know, it's terror stuff. You know what I'm saying?
The
name,
horror punk monster stories. And
there you go. And yeah, I like this. Yeah. It's heavy. I truly do like this. So for real.
Cool.
What do you hope your fans take away from the new album End of Days once they start listening to it, or just Terra Incorporated music in general when they get to listen to any of your guys' music? What do you hope that they take away from it, guys?
I hope they walk away entertained. I mean, that's the point, right?
Yeah.
Like, we're not out trying to make big social changes. We're not a, fucking protest political band. Like, we're entertainers. And at the end of the day, if you sit down and listen to a song and you just get a half of a smirk or half a chill out of it, that's all I want, you know? I'm out to change the world in a completely different way. Like, I just want people to enjoy it, feel good about it.
I mean, honestly, it's just for people like Will said, just to enjoy it. I mean, we're not we're not deep about any of the lyrics. So,
like, it's horror music, man. Like, there's a reason to watch horror films. You don't watch them to or make them or perform in them or do any of that stuff to change the people around you or influence the political sciences of the world. You watch them and listen to them and get into this shit to escape life. So if I can scare someone out of their own heads for 14 seconds at a time, I'm down with that. Like, sounds good.
Speaking of that, I want to give a big shout out and a big thank you to George A. Romero for what he has done. Yeah, for what he has done and brought to the table for horror music. The Godfather of zombies, the Godfather of horror movies, pretty much. Not knocking the ones from back in the old days of black and white stuff, because that shit's good too. Don't get me wrong.
He totally revolutionized what was being done.
He sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he brought the fear to I guess I want to say not real life, but take you out of the reality for a little bit.
It got a little less campy, a little less silly, which it still
Yep.
was to a degree, but it
Yep.
definitely seemed more viable and more, I don't know, plausible. Yeah, it definitely stamped a little harder on people.
So what helps you guys keep your mind fresh and open to new solos, guitar riffs, even lyrics to not make it stale, guys? I know horror punk and horror rock you can only do so much, but what helps you guys?
I mean, we do take in a lot of influences from all over the place, like that helps too. Yeah, real life.
Real life's scary. So
Yeah.
I write about real life shit sometimes. But yeah.
It is. It's very scary.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, look
But
at
I
the,
don't know. We're also into storytelling. Like Zombie King was a concept album. Like, so we'll write like overarching tales that encompass multiple songs and whatnot, and that's fun.
Here's $1 million question for you guys. I know you guys are from Pennsylvania, but how much local support does Terra Incorporated get from your fans, venues, and plus radio player in that area? Or do you have to travel out and get more support?
Traditionally traveled out. We played a lot more in Maryland, Virginia, West Virginia, a little bit in Jersey, a little bit in New York, but like, and when we did play in Pennsylvania, it wasn't like our area of Pennsylvania. It'd be like an hour and a half drive to wherever we were. Pittsburgh,
yeah.
Philadelphia, Allentown, Reading. But like, I don't know, the people who do enjoy us in the area are very supportive of us, but it's just this area isn't really good for original acts, to be honest. There's a very small handful of venues, and most of them want cover bands. They want bar music. They want, and jam bands, and that's just not what we do. So it was definitely an uphill fight getting shows when we started out.
And I think this horror community, I'm not going to say horror genre because we're a community, we're a family pretty much.
For sure.
There's certain states and areas, man, that eat this up, and we support it so much that, it's an everyday thing. Every day's Halloween
sure.
for us. So
We've met some really cool people, made some good friends in the community, and just most of them don't live where we live. We got to travel to visit them and play with them and do stuff with them.
So what can folks expect at a show from Terra Incorporated? What are they going to get when they come and see you guys live?
Well, definitely a bit of theatrics involved, propping and very light costuming and makeup, like not over the top. We're not Guar or anything like that. But I like to put on a show that I'd like to watch. High energy, entertaining. Like, I don't like going to a show and seeing a guy stand there and strumming his guitar and not move his feet or move his body in any way. So we try and bring a high energy aspect to our shows. We're moving around, we're thrashing around, we're jumping all over the place and doing what we can, trying to keep it moving.
Now, this is kind of like a double-edged sword, I guess, kind of question, but I know we're living in a digital era of recording albums and getting music out there quicker. Do you guys like this way of the digital era plus social media and getting your music out quicker, say, than back 10, 15 years ago?
It definitely has its perks. It definitely has its drawbacks. It is so much easier to find music now, but at the same time, it's so saturated with music. It is so easy to put music out there. So sometimes you got to like wade through some like mediocre stuff to find some really good things. But at the same time, it's so easy to get a hold of it. It's not really a big deal. It's just a little time consuming. I am personally a sucker for like hard copy media, like a good old, like a CD or a vinyl record, like nothing beats that. So we try and like encourage that sale because that's just like how we like to run things. Actually, the CD copy of End of Days has 2 bonus tracks on it as opposed to the digital download copy.
Yeah, that's what I got. I got the digital download copy. I didn't get the CD as of yet. So
Yep. But so there are 2 additional songs which are a little different. So that's why we include them as like bonus tracks because we didn't want, to throw people off with something really different. But they're cool. I think they're neat.
So would you guys want to do vinyl on any of these albums that's out right now, possibly?
I would love to do vinyl if we could afford to do it.
Yeah.
Like, that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
That'd be really, really cool.
So what does Terra Inc. bring to the table for music that's not out there as of right now?
Oh, I can say, I think using End of Days as an example, there's no 2 songs that sound the same. Everything's different, like Will said. I mean, it's just, how some bands put out and there's one album that just like everything kind of has that same sound, the same riff. But we're not like that. Everything is different. Every song that you listen to on the EP is different. I think we have a good mixture and a good variety.
You do. This album is there's not a song on here that sounds the same. There a lot of diverse songs on here. That's for sure.
I'd Yeah, I'd agree with that. I'd say that's really what we're most bringing that's different to the scene now is we're breaking away the typecasting and the genre pigeonholing. Like, yeah, we're playing punk and metal music, but it's a little bit of both, and every song's got either a little more metal, a little more punk, the variation in the sounds and the tuning and whatnot. Like, it's not just the same chug through riffing and, you know, I don't know. I guess I'd say that's what, yeah, bringing some variety in and of ourselves and into the scene, I guess.
This is for each of you. What made you want to become a musician? What was that spark that said, yeah, I want to do that right there?
I saw a video of Cliff Burton playing bass.
Nice.
And that's what intrigued me to want to be a musician. Saw this video. I was not really super into music at the time. I was a kid. Saw this video, ended up buying like Ride the Lightning. I bought Maiden's Number of the Beast simultaneously. A few months later, I got a hold of Earth AD, Misfits, and that's when hell, Christ, yeah, we started writing stuff then, like we were kids.
Yeah.
Couldn't play an instrument, but we write lyrics all the time, like just constantly writing music.
And when you hear Cliff Burton's bass, it's like it's talking to you. It's like,
oh,
what?
for sure. It's soul piercing.
It is.
It really is.
It's
gets in you.
It's very sad that he's gone, and just think, man, of what he could have, you know.
Oh yeah. What would have happened if
yeah.
that was still out there a little longer?
Yeah.
For sure. But yeah, that's where I got into it and started. That's why I play the bass, and that's why I like making music.
For me, I was like Will said, we wrote when we were younger different lyrics and stuff, and I played guitar in high school, and we slapped around some songs and whatnot. But I think what really did it for me is I went to see Wednesday 13 live in concert, and that was like my second show. And like during it, like just them being up on stage, I was like, that's what I want to do. Like, I want to play music and entertain people, and just, I don't know, just something about that show. It's one of my favorite shows still to this day, and it was just, I don't know what it was. It was just
a little sparky.
Yeah, that's it.
For me, it was seeing Kiss in 1979.
Nice.
Yeah, she was how old. But I saw Kiss in 79 perform, and that was it. I wanted to do it for the rest of my life, and I have been. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
As far as I go, I'm one of the older guys here too. I actually had a friend that played, and his dad had taught percussion at a local high school, and he had an older brother. And I remember going to his house when I was younger, and his brother's downstairs playing Iron Maiden, Motorhead, Megadeth. I mean, just all the old thrash metal. And I walked down the steps, and he's just jamming, and it's like, I got to do that. I have to do that. And then it was just all downhill from there.
The good kind of downhill.
The good kind of downhill.
Yeah, that's the good kind of downhill, man. Never bad.
Face down isn't always bad.
Guys, is there a country or region that has surprised you of the support you guys have gotten with your music, or a show or moment that stands out more to you than any possibly?
What was that, Russian?
Yeah, some Russian music blog, like the day we released the EP, like did a write-up on it, which was really cool. We did not expect that. It was really neat. And the last album came out, we sold a bunch in Germany, which surprised me too. It's cool for somewhere that we've obviously never played at, never been to like latch onto something and buy it up. Like, that's cool.
Germany's got a real cool hard punk scene.
Yeah, for sure.
Exactly.
For sure.
Exactly. Yeah, they eat it up. They love it. I mean, they eat it, breathe it, sleep it just as much as we do over here, but they're more...
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Once again, that's the reason why Germans love David Hasselhoff. Anyway.
Yeah. That'd be scary.
Yeah, there you go. Guys, if you could work with any musician, dead or alive, or any band that's been broken up, who would it be for 2 days?
Oh, mine would be the Ramones, hands down.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. Mine would be Ramones.
Man. Oh, man. I would have to go with Motorhead.
Nice.
Hands down, Motorhead.
Yeah.
If we're talking like single musician, I'd have to fall back on Cliff Burton again. Like, now we're talking full band, I think I'd be with the other guys over here and saying about the Ramones. But yeah, single individual musician.
You know, I don't know if you guys get this or not, but I want to ask anyway. What's it mean to you guys when you receive an email from a fan, or prior to the shows or after the shows, they'll come and tell you that your music has pulled them through a bad experience or gave them inspiration to overcome obstacles, or it's just made them to relax with the everyday bullshit that we all go through to get away for a while? If that's happened to you, what's it mean?
I think we had once or twice had we had one person at a show stop us and talk to us about this, and it's unexpected, really. It's not where we're going out there necessarily. Like, we're not looking to change people, but like the whole escaping whatever their life is for half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour at a show, that's what it's all about. Like, that keeps you pushing you want to do more. So I can think of 2 times. There was a very young girl at a show in Virginia years ago that was like, that came up to us and said that to us, and that was really, really cool. And then we've had an email once or twice also. I'm trying to think of people afterwards, like, saying that kind of, and it means a lot, actually. Like, it's one of those things you don't really think about when you're doing it, but when it happens, you're kind of just like put back. Like, just a couple of dumb kids from Pennsylvania, and well, 2 of us are dumb kids, 2 of us are dumb adults, but the age gap here is kind of funny.
Yeah. It's crazy because even when we receive like a message or an email or anything or a post about someone just like liking our music, you know, that means so much to me. But then if you go that far, like, I remember that girl in Virginia. I was moved by it. It definitely was.
That was one of those instances we got in the car to leave, and we looked at each other and went, wow.
Yeah, it was
that, like, wow.
Yeah, and I mean, it felt good to like help someone unintentionally, you know, help someone.
But that's the thing. If you reach one fan, you're doing your job.
For sure. Yeah. If I can, like I said, if I can make one person just like relax and forget about the bullshit, the day-to-day life, for however long they're listening to us, what it's all about.
I just like to say I like your music. I'm glad I came across you guys, and you have full support from me and BODS Mayhem Hour and Uber City Radio. I'll play anything and everything that you have, or announce anything that you have. So how can folks stay in touch with you guys, buy some merchandise, anything, guys? Tour dates, how can they do that?
We got the Facebook thing going on, Terror Inc. 13.
Yeah.
So yeah, Facebook's there. We have a Reverb Nation page as well. Yeah. We have merchandise on Bandcamp. Honestly, the best way to get our merch, though, is try and get to a show, which if you're not from around here, it's not going to work out. But we are actually in the process of acquiring a bunch of new merchandise, so that'll all end up on Bandcamp eventually. And on there you can buy, which you can get the digital copy of the album pretty much anywhere right now.
Yeah, iTunes,
Amazon, that's everywhere. But you can get a hard copy through our Bandcamp site.
Before I let you guys go, would you care to do a promo for the show?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we can do that. This is Terror Inc., and you're listening to BODS Mayhem Hour.
Everybody stick around. Coming up here very shortly, Terror Inc. is going to be doing an acoustic set here on the show, so they're going to be warming up and going to be coming on here very, very shortly. So you only hear these interviews right here on BODS Mayhem Hour and Uber City Radio. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having us, for real.